The story kept me going up until the end, you know. It kept me intrigued. What's up everybody, I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And welcome to our bucket list channel, a channel in which we try to realize the goals and dreams that are on our bucket list. Today we're working on one of those goals, which is to watch every movie that was nominated at the Academy Award for Best Picture from 1927 to 2028. Today's movie, our movie review, is going to be Smilin Through, a movie that came out in 1932. This is the 35th movie we've watched, and now we're officially starting the 6th Academy Award year.
Yay!
Yes! Which is 1932/1933. This is the last time that we're gonna have to explain that weird slash thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
because
great.
starting with 34, it's a normal year, a calendar year. This is our 6th Academy Award, but 7th year in total because we did 2019 too. We've watched 35 movies, plus one lost movie, The Patriot. Maybe one day we'll find it. So the way we're going to be doing this review is the same way we do all of our movie reviews. First part is going to be spoiler free, so we'll give our general thoughts about the movie without spoiling any of the plot elements. Second part, we'll delve deeper into some of those elements that we found interesting, whether it's story-wise or character-wise, etc., while spoiling. But we will warn you before we get there so that you don't surprisingly get the story spoiled for you. And at the very end of the video, we will be doing a ranking, which we started doing the last year's.
Yes, I'm having so much fun doing the ranking.
The rankings?
Yes.
Yeah, it's it brings another element that I actually appreciate. Of course, today there's only going to be one movie in the ranking because we just started, so it's kind of obvious what movie is going to be number one, but hey.
For now.
You never know.
Who knows?
Hey, before any of that though, let's get to our general information section about the movie. Smilin Through, a movie that came out on September 24, 1932. This is an MGM movie. It is based on a 1919 play by Jane Call and Jane Morfin. Is it there? Because I was like, wait, they're both called Jane? Yes, they are. Also named Smilin Through. The movie was directed by Sidney Franklin, stars Norma Shearer as Caitlin Anna Mooney. You might remember her from...
Yes, wait, from The Divorcee?
The Divorcee, yes. Also stars Frederick Mark as Kenneth Wayne and Jeremy Wayne, Leslie Howard as Sir John, and Opie Heggie as Dr. Owen. The movie was nominated for one Academy Award, Best Picture, which is why we watched it. This is a remake of a 1922 silent movie, also called Smilin Through, which itself was based on the play. And they made another remake in 1941. Again, lots of remake in a short period of time, you know, like pumping out these different versions of the same story.
And they seem to be doing that a lot in those years.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's all for the information that I've got about this movie. Anna, let's get on to a spoiler-free discussion. First of all, did you like this movie?
Yes, I liked it. It was really interesting to watch. Emotional kind of story. It gets you really involved. I really liked the cast, the actors.
Mm.
I particularly thought that Leslie Howard was very good in his role. Overall, I really liked watching this movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice movie to watch. Fun in the sense that I enjoyed my time. The story kept me going up until the end, you know, like there was never a moment where I was like, oh yeah, is this over already? It kept me intrigued. There was a small mystery element that gets resolved in the last third maybe of the movie, but was still interesting to think about, you know. And the end, again, we're not going to spoil right now, but I feel like the end doesn't take the easy route.
I think so too.
And so it makes you think, you know, at the end of the movie I was thinking oh, that's interesting, what happens from now on? But you don't get that because that's where it ends.
Right, I really like that. And there was a moment when I thought I'm not gonna like the ending, but then when I saw how it actually goes, I thought it was really good.
Now, definitely satisfied with this movie. You said you liked the characters. What did you think of the actors' performances? You highlighted Howard, but what about Norma and the rest of the cast?
Well, I think everyone did a very good job.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in this movie they did a really good job at finding actors who really fit like with their characters. I feel like Norma Shearer, she was more like fitted for this character rather than the other one that we've seen before.
Oh, that she was playing in The Divorcee, you think?
Yes, I liked her more in this movie.
That's interesting. I was thinking the exact opposite.
Really?
Yeah. Not that I didn't like her here, but I much prefer her in The Divorcee.
No, I really liked her in this one. I liked her more here. And I think maybe it's because I like the story that the character had more.
Yeah, so that's it for the performances. Let's move on to the look and feel of the movie. I especially want to highlight some of the special effects, which I was thinking how are they doing this?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
1932.
I know what you're talking about. They had very interesting special effects, like you said, and I think to us it doesn't seem like much, but it's the first time that I'm seeing that in these old movies. You know, it's interesting to think about how much must they have thought about it and plan out things and do those shots in order to get those special effects. How much work did they put into it?
Went into that. And you say to us it doesn't feel like much. Like, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised.
I mean, it doesn't feel like much compared to what you would see today, but that's what I mean. But obviously I was also surprised to see that this early on. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about the sound. That's always interesting when you feel like some movies have a better sound, but then you watch movies that are made 1 or 2 years later and it sounds not as good. And it makes me wonder why, because I feel like this movie the sound was not spot on.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I think so. That's not to say that it was bad, but I'm just curious why movies this movie was made in 32, why movies that were made in 1930 or 1931 can sound better, you know.
I mean, it always depends on who you have on the crew working.
Yeah, I suppose. But I imagine in my head it's shouldn't everybody have the same equipment or the same type of, technology? But I guess that's also not the case.
Yeah, even today, people with the same technology comes with two different products, often one better than the other. But I didn't feel like the sound was problematic. I didn't notice it, and to me, if I don't notice it, it means they did their job.
It wasn't problematic. I was just saying that I feel like other movies did a better job. I feel like this is something that should improve.
Yeah, I think they especially did a good job incorporating sound, because we're talking on the technical level, but storytelling wise they also used sound in a very interesting manner. We can talk about it more when we get into the spoiler section, but I thought that was interesting. Yeah, so would you say in the end that you recommend this movie?
Yes, I would recommend it. I thought it was a truly interesting story. Like you said, it had an element of mystery, and it's emotional. Like I said, it gets you really involved. So I think it's a very interesting movie to watch.
Yeah, I'd recommend it too. It's a good watch. You'll enjoy yourself. And yeah, definitely go check it out. Smilin Through, 1932 movie. It is now time for us to get to the spoiler section.
Spoilers!
Spoilers. If you don't want to get spoiled, I invite you to like this video and come back for our next review. If you don't mind getting spoiled, let's go! First of all, short synopsis of what the movie's story actually is. The adoptive father of a young woman is horrified to learn that she plans to marry the son of the man who accidentally killed her aunts years before. There's a lot to unravel there.
Right, this spoiler tells you everything.
The whole story basically, yeah.
Even the mystery that we were talking about.
Yeah, because that mystery in question, the movie starts with you see Sir John very sad. There's this ghost, which is the special effect that we were talking about.
Right, how they managed to put the ghost there. So interesting.
Yeah. Of this woman, his friend, the doc, is making allusion to oh, you can't dwell on what happened, blah, blah, blah. She's been gone for X amount of time. They don't tell you what they're talking about. They don't tell you what happened.
Right.
Until very late into the movie.
You just understand that he probably lost the woman he loved a long time ago. But that's all you know.
But there's no details. And then they layer that mystery with when Norma's character finds that abandoned house and she's like, something happened here. The guy who lived here probably killed himself. I wonder why. And then the things are related.
She puts, and that's interesting, is that she puts together part of the mystery in the sense that she realizes that the guy who lived in the abandoned house probably loved her aunt.
The woman, her uncle was supposed to marry.
Right. But she doesn't figure out all the mistake, everything that happened, you know? So like that's left for even later on to be revealed.
Yeah, which I thought was a very good storytelling device, you know, because it kept me interested, it kept me on my toes. Like you have to pay attention because you don't know like when the detail that you're looking for to fill in the puzzle will come in. And when it comes in, it's a satisfying answer, I would say.
The answer to the mystery?
Yeah, which is like, we say mystery just in the sense that you don't know what's happening.
Right.
The mystery is pretty straightforward, which is that the father of the man Norma is now in love with is the one who accidentally killed her aunt. Uncle doesn't want her to have anything to do with him because somehow the son is responsible for the father's sin.
Or more like he thinks he can't be that different from his father, so you shouldn't.
That's how it's perceived, but deep down it's more of a, if this guy is there, he will always be a reminder of the tragedy. And obviously...
And they also make a point out of saying how much he resembled his father.
Yeah.
Given that actually in the movie they're played by the same,
same
actor.
Yeah. That's a clever device to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised because when it started and we got the revelation that was the situation, you know, his dad killed a aunt and the uncle got mad and forced them to not meet each other again. I was like, oh, this is that story. You know, I was expecting a Romeo and Juliet rehash or something of the you know, the same kind of story, you know, family against family and the two young lovers can't meet each other. But it kind of takes, you know, a direction which I didn't expect. He goes to war, comes back crippled.
That was unexpected. That was totally unexpected to me. Because it's just not the direction that you'd expect a story like this to take. It's like you said, you know. I
thought he would just come back and then, oh, we want to be together now. And then the uncle sees the error of his ways and like everybody is happy and tra-la-la, we all dance on the flowers. But no, he comes back from war crippled. The uncle, we're skipping around, the uncle died.
Yeah.
So even though they do end up together at the end,
this is not like the happy ending of a happy story.
Exactly.
You mentioned the uncle's death, which is actually the very last scene, like happens in the very last scene of the movie. That is the part that actually, when I saw it happening, that is the part that I thought like, oh no, like don't do this, you know, because in the end the uncle accepts for his niece to be with the man that she loves.
Yeah.
And then she goes to like find him. And the uncle dies in the meantime. Like while she's gone, he passes away. And I was thinking like, there's already a tragedy there in the fact that Kenneth is crippled, right? He's been injured. So you don't need to add another tragedy to it with the death of the uncle. Like I thought that I was gonna see that scene when she comes back and she sees him dead and she starts crying and whatever. And I already knew that, oh, this is probably the end of the movie, you know, it's gonna end on such a down tone.
But that's not what they focus on.
But that's not what they do. Exactly. That's not what they do. Like they take that scene and they turn it into something like so beautiful.
Because he's finally reunited with the woman he loved.
Right. And even though obviously she would be sad, the niece would be sad when she finds out that her uncle is dead. But they don't show that into the movie, you know. They just show the happy ending.
Yeah. Which I thought was an interesting element too, because the wife-to-be's ghost was always a bit cryptic in her message to him, you know, because he was full of hatred and she was like, oh, you mustn't, your hatred is keeping us apart. You won't be able to see me as long as you hold on to it. And as soon as he lets go, he dies and then they can be reunited. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. But I also wonder if it was in a sense of, if you don't let go of your hatred before you die, then we'll never be together. I
mentioned the earlier sound used inside of the storytelling. This is a movie that happens during wartime. We mentioned that Kenny goes to war. They use sound in the sense that like they never show any battlefield moment or war moment, but you hear it.
Yeah, you hear some bombs being dropped and
guns and tanks and the people and the scenes make mention of it, you know.
Yeah.
And so it puts kind of a certain like atmosphere around the events happening. Like it's a war movie without being a war movie.
Right.
I find it interesting. After all of that, would you still say you recommend this movie? Yeah.
Yes, I recommend it. I think it's a very good movie indeed.
Me too. Time now to rank it, and I feel like we're gonna have a very difficult debate here, trying to figure out where to put it.
Well, I'm thinking we should put it at number 1 or number 1.
Yeah, but there's all these other movies on the list. No, it's the first movie on the list, so it's gonna be number 1, of course, for the present time. Who knows if it will stay there?
Right, because for the last year, the first movie that we started it, we put it at obviously number 1, and we thought it was gonna be a strong contestant. But then, oh man, so many good movies. So maybe this year will be the same. I hope that this year will be the same. Judging by the titles, I think we're gonna have a good year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but last year's, it was gonna half-half.
If half of them are great movies, I'm happy.
Right? Yeah, let's hope for that. Maybe you guys will be here to... Hopefully you guys will be here to see if half of those movies are great movies. Or maybe you've seen them already, and you already know.
Don't tell us.
Yeah. So, if you want to join us on that journey, I invite you to subscribe. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment in the comment section below. Have you ever seen Smilin Through, and did you like it? And yeah, have a nice day.
Here's to your health, your honor, and the health of all your descendants, great and small.
That's a mighty handsome toast.
It's an Irish toast, the best I know.
May you keep as young and as pretty as you are until doomsday. And never forget the man who wished it.